Today we are going to be showing you around one of our most recent projects here in Slinfold, and if you live in the local area you might have spotted the second sign to go up on this road, so we must be doing something right. So this is another extensive home transformation project. We've got a 2-storey side elevation extension that carries on down the full depth of the property. As you can see, we've stripped the roof off the garage. The reason for this is that we're going to be extending this side of the property out above the existing garage and mimicking the same roof construction, in a sense that we're still going to go from a hipped to hipped roof. But in removing this allows us to then build above after installing our steel beam going across. Once that's done and the extension has been extended, we can then cut and pitch the new roof, tying into it nicely. Towards the rear, we're going to square off the extension with the back of the house, creating that one big space. Now let's jump inside into the garage, have a chat with our plumber about what work he's been carrying out over the last 2 days. So this week, the client has decided to go on holiday. So we thought we'd take this as a perfect opportunity to carry out some of the major plumbing works. So what's been happening over the last 2 days, Josh? We've relocated this boiler, haven't we?
Yeah, so in here previously we had the old oil boiler sat in that corner alongside the unvented cylinder. So the unvented cylinder has now been relocated up into the loft, and the oil boiler is being relocated to the outside wall here. We're going to take these old primary feeds, run them up through the new ceiling joist when they're installed to our new location.
Cool. So why has it got to be located on the outside?
So we're moving the boiler outside again to free up the space in this garage here.
Yeah.
And it's close to the oil tank where we can get our feed from, and
so it just makes everything easier.
It's easy, yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's jump upstairs and catch up with Brandon and also go through what you've been doing up there.
Okay, so we're on the landing now. The landing's going to remain as a landing, but the ensuite, which is behind this wall here, is going to be a corridor, part of the landing going into the new bedroom. So if you come through here, at the minute we've got an ensuite through the wardrobe. This wardrobe's going to stay where it is, but instead of being an ensuite, it's going to be a hallway into the new master bedroom. So where that wall is here, you're going to walk through here, there'll be a door here going into the new master bedroom. This is where the old bath used to be, so we've given a bit more space to the bathroom by getting rid of that bath and pulling that wall through in line there. So where that existing window is, almost getting shifted over and turned into a door. And then over here, we've got a door leading into the master bedroom, down that end as well, because that's 2 bedrooms. So 1 bedroom to the back with an ensuite, and then 1 bedroom to the front. And if we go into the existing family bathroom, everything sort of stays the same in here. There was a wall here which divided up the shower and the bath. That wall came out, and then this wall got pulled forward to accommodate for a bigger bath. So what we've done is we've capped everything off and ripped the old bathroom out, and then we're going to be putting everything back in.
Is everything going in the same location?
No, the client's not too sure about the locations and the items yet. They're meeting up with a few designers next week and hopefully come back with something. We'll have a look upstairs now at the new cylinder we've put in, part of the upgrading the system, and Josh will be able to give you a little run through what's going on.
So now we're just up in the loft where we're in the process of installing the new unvented cylinder. We've relocated this from downstairs in the garage just to free up some more space for the client. So we're currently getting all the hots and colds in, ready for the client so they can still use their bathrooms, kitchens and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we're adding a few more bathrooms to the house, as I discussed earlier. So part of this process was to upgrade the existing system, like Josh said. So Josh, why would this one be better than the existing?
So this new unvented cylinder, we've added around an extra 100 litres of capacity. This is going to provide better flow rates, more hot water for all the new bathrooms, and it's going to be better pressure because we've upgraded the water mains.
Right, what have we got going here then? So the cylinder's over here, and then what is this vessel over here?
So this white vessel that you can see over here, that's our expansion tank. That works as a safety device for the unvented cylinder, just to ensure that if anything ever goes wrong in the future, they're going to be covered and it's not going to be dangerous for the client. Next to that we have the grey vessel, that's our central heating vessel. This is to make the heating side of the system pressurised rather than gravity fed. This will be easier for the customer to use, as well as making it easier for anyone in the future doing any maintenance work.
So the guys have been making some fantastic progress out into this rear side of the extension. We've got our brick and block work up to DPC height with our concrete oversight completed. You'll see how we've come off the existing side of the garage, coming all the way out to the rear of the property and tying in with the existing wall. Now this is creating one big square which is going to allow for an open plan living space. But before we create that space, we've got to install various stills.
Yeah, so the stills we've got going on here then, We've got a large steel which goes left and right. We've got a post here within the cavity of the external wall. This steel then comes over onto a large column this end. Once that goal post structure is in place, we then have a steel which goes from left to right and then right to left. And that connects into this big one which goes through here. And then all this weight comes down on this column, or gets distributed either end and down the middle, onto this column which sits on this pad foundation here, which is 1800 by 1800 wide, and it's down to the depth of the existing foundation, which is 1.5 metres deep. Then after that, as Mitchell previously discussed earlier, the first floor extension steps in, so we're going to have steels going from here, from the external corner here, going this way, allowing, so the flat roof's going to be here, and then the rest of the first floor structure is going to go up with a vaulted, pitched roof going into that wall on the outside.
So we've got a few different structural elements to contend with in this ceiling. So we've got your standard timber joist going from one load-bearing element to the other, and then we have this block and beam structure above. Now the reason for this is the previous builders created a balcony and they thought the best idea would be to install this block and beam, which is problematic for us because there's various bits that we've now got to consider when knocking, for example, this section of the wall down. The reason for this is we're going to be installing 2 sets of bifolding doors. Now these bifolding doors are going to meet in the corner and allowing you to fully concertina them when you've got a day like today and you want to shine all that natural light into the property and open them up for the family to enjoy.
So this is where the fuse board's going to be going and all the rest of the utilities. So you've got the fuse board here, which is going to go on this wall, because what the architect engineer forgot was the fuse board was here and we have to build a brick pier here up to the height of the fuse board. So that's getting relocated and there's not enough space on the fuse board either. So rather than installing 2 fuse boards, it was more cost effective just to take the old fuse board out and put a bigger fuse board in with more space. So there'll be a wall here, and that separates the entrance to the boot room, and the boot room is only accessible the other side.
So as you step outside the boot room, you enter into what was the existing passageway to the property, leading you out into the garden. Where the cameraman is now is going to be where the new door is located, and this is going to come in to the home. To my right, the garage is going to remain the same in the sense that all that's changing is we're installing various stills to accommodate for the structure above, and then to my left is going to be that access to the boot room, with an additional door located here, taking you into that all-important open plan living space. Thank you for joining us today for an introduction into one of our latest projects. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn that notification bell for any future content. Thank you.